Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is a podcast of me showing my experiences, stories, and childhood, and uh, and I'll just share it with you. And this is like a podcast where you can just sit down and listen to it as you work, as you do whatever you're doing. Have me on in the background, just listen to me as I yackle and chat about all good stuff that's going on in life and my experiences in life and what maybe I'm experiencing now. Um, and tell you some good stories of my life. I enjoy telling stories. It's just like around the campfire. Maybe I'll change this beyond cliff and cliff around the fires. I don't know. I'll probably leave it beyond cliff and cliff because this is going to cover everything and I just ramble on anyway. I always have the certain subject I want to stay on, but for some reason I always get off subject and tell you a whole different story than what I even first wanted to tell you guys. But but as many of you know, my career path was in the fire department, and I like to share some of them stories with you. And I'm not going to, this ain't going to be every week. But I do like to tell you some of the stories that I have encountered. Now, I won't tell you the gory or in detail what a lot, because I've been through a lot of stuff to make you question life. Seen some things that nobody should ever see, and a bunch of stuff, and it does stay with you. Now, any of you that's been in the fire service knows that your duties are more than just fire. For some reason, the fire department is the dumping ground of every job that nobody else wants to do. Vehicle accidents. We even have to dabble in medical to help the ambulance people out. We take care of toxic waste. We hazmat stuff, confined space rescue, high rise rescue. I mean, all the rescue that you can rescue, fire department's involved. I'm not saying the ambulance people or the police officers don't have jobs, but they have their hazards and we have ours, but it seems like to me, my 20 years experience, we get thrown way more. Now, don't ask me why but let the firefighters do it. Let the fire department handle it. I've been in some situations where I didn't think the fire department should be involved, like a medical. There's some medical calls that I really think PD should have been there before us, but we're always there first, and we usually have to call PD to come out and help us out. I just think, but see, here I go, get on all subject. But anyway, but yeah, we the fire department, I have a stack of certificates, inch and a half thick, which is just paper, but it's achievements. But the fire department, we get a lot of calls for a lot of different things, and it's more than just a cat in a tree and a fire. Fire is our number one job, but we always get into rescues, swiftwater rescue, say confined space, motor vehicle accidents. So you can kind of imagine we see a lot of things. And it does weigh on your mind at times, but there's one in particular story. It was kind of funny. I think I was on the job for maybe about, I say maybe pretty close to a month. And here in the fire service, we have this thing called white smoke and black smoke. White smoke is where it's all, you know, we go through our shifts with hardly any calls. Then we have a black smoke day where everything hits the fan. We have fire. I mean, just all out calls all day. Well, we've gone through a week of no calls, so that'd be considered white smoke. And we were just sitting at the fire station doing daily checks, equipment checks, truck checks, making sure everything's up in good condition, full fuel, gas, oil, fluids, making sure our jaws of life worked, and all of our tools worked. We do that every day. When we start a shift, that's what we do. Even though we checked it the day before, we check it the next day because there's nothing more embarrassing than getting on a call and stuff ain't working. We try to avoid it with routine maintenance and checks. But this whole week, that's all we were doing. It was a Thursday, or it was the end of the week. Thursday or Friday or something like that. But I think it was a Thursday because I think it was Thursday. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The story is that we were sitting doing that, and our chief comes in, and our chief was close. So when we kept, it was a family, brotherhood, and the chief knew everybody. He come in out of his office. He comes down to the station, and he pulls. At that time, my lieutenant at the side. I was just a firefighter at the time. And he pulls us into the little day room we had, and he goes, "Well, guys, I think we're gonna go out to eat for lunch today." On him, he'd do that every once in a while. He'll go to eat. We had 5 fire stations, and once a month he'll take a station out to eat lunch, which was fine to me because it was my day to cook, and I wasn't going to cook a whole lot. I was just going to go get sandwich meat, and that's what we were going to have, just cold cut sandwiches. So it was fine with me. I didn't have to cook lunch that day. So we went to some restaurant, and of course, when somebody's buying, you eat. So we were eating, and we were full. Full. We were stuffed. Probably more stuffed than we should have been. But everybody decided they wanted to eat that day, and we ate. There was nothing going on. We got back to the station, and of course, everybody was full and stuff. So we were kind of moving kind of slow. Big mistake, because the fire service, it is not friendly. He'll call you any time of day. Morning, noon, and night, 2 o'clock in the morning, your pager and the bell goes off. You've got to go. And we sat down, and guess what? That dong went, and we looked at each other. We were hoping it was something easy where we wouldn't, but it was a grass fire, and we were like, well, okay. In our fire station, we had these trucks, so you could stand on the back, and they drive around the grass fire. You put it out with a pump. The truck held 300 gallons of water, and we usually was able to fight a good grass fire with that. As long as it wasn't no ground and pound where we had to walk with backpacks in the woods and do fire lines and cut down trees. We were hoping it wasn't that. But guess what? Our luck, it was on a hill, side of the road. On the highway, as you're driving on those hills on the side, well, that's where the fire was. We had to climb basically a little big hill to get to the head of the fire. Because just above that was a wheat field for miles, and it would have been bad. So us guys, we hurried up, got out, we were trying to climb the hill, being full. And I think a couple of us did kind of throw up our lunches trying to climb the hill. I think I was one of them. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. We got the fire out. We fire out when we got done. The guys, we looked at each other and we knew we should not have done what we did with eating that lunch. Lesson learned. Oh man, it was bad. We were it I don't know. I don't even know what the right word would be, but we from then on we did not eat a big lunch. We had a bigger dinner, but at lunchtime we didn't eat, and we just ate just enough to get by. But whew, and of course the weather was up in the 90s that day. We had to wear we didn't turn up. We had wildland gear and firefighter gear. Wildland gear is basically it's a fabric that repels fire, but it's lightweight. It's really light. It's not structural fire safe, but it was for wildland firefighting, and that's what we wore. So it wasn't that that heavy, but it's still hot. You see my that was my wildland helmet. Back behind that little blue square is in the dark. That's my structure firefighter helmet, but that was our wildland helmet, and we wore that. It was still light, but it was still hot. And I think, we threw up a couple times. So yeah, we learned our lesson on that ordeal. We got back, we all, got showered up, cleaned up, new clothes on. At that time we felt better because we weren't as full, because we worked a lot of it off that afternoon. But needless to say, supper time come around, we looked at each other. We go, no, we're not going to eat that much. So we did have them cold cut sandwiches and stuff. We got nourishment to our bodies, and then we went and done our evening thing. And our evening thing, we had to stay busy from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5. That was what we call public hours. That's where we did our truck checks, and we worked. We stayed busy doing stuff. If we weren't on a call, we were washing trucks, cleaning the station, doing paperwork, reports. We had to stay busy. We'd go around town doing our fire alarm checks and going to school, doing the public education stuff. That's when we did all that. After 5 o'clock was considered downtime. Non-public hours where we ate dinner. If we went out to eat, we all had to go. We just had to stay together in case we get a call. We can go from there to the call. But usually we stayed at the station, cooked, fixed dinner. We all ate at a big table as a family. Sometimes other guys' wives would come in and bring and fix everybody dinner. And our wives came in and ate dinner with us, or brought us dinner or whatever. That's where we could all sit in the day room and watch TV, movies, play video games, or go relax in the bunk room. Or if they had, we had a bunk room. Each firefighter had their own little separate sleeping quarters, and each one had a TV. So a lot of just took. Went there by themselves and watched TV and whatever until we had a call, and we all had to get up and go, of course, until 8 o'clock the next morning. It's either shift change or we had to go back at it for another day. And so that was pretty much the day in life of a firefighter. But and it was like that. It was enjoyable. That call, I feel like I accomplished stuff in life doing that job, and I feel that I've helped other people in that job, saved lives or whatever. So I did enjoy that aspect of it. But guys, I think this is going to be the end of this this one here. Future podcast, I'll tell you more stories. But I figured this one was a good one to get started on, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please hit that like button down below and leave me a comment. Let me know what you all think. Of course, I highly appreciate the feedback. And if you like this, maybe consider subscribing to me. You know, I do other things. I do podcasts, Beyond Click and Clip, and I do Lego content. So if you're just watching this for the podcast and you're interested in the other stuff, maybe consider subscribing. Who knows? You might like it. But guys, until the next one, be good to each other, pay it forward, always be nice to one another. This life's too short. A lot of bad things going on that we should just be, let's try the nice this year. Anyway, guys, have a good one. See you on the next one.